Brett Carlisle is here. He's back. He's actually here 2 years ago with his band All or Nothing, and we did a fun interview with them. So check that out. And he's been busy since then. In the last 2 years, he's put out new music with All or Nothing. They did a song with George Lynch, and he's officially become the new singer of Great White. So it's been really cool to follow him and see his growth. And he's here to tell us all about it, coming right up. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and just jump right in. And yeah, if people haven't heard our first episode when I interviewed you guys in All or Nothing, I interviewed the whole band, and I just re-listened to that. It's like so funny. We talk about the history of the band, the story of the gray paint, Vince Neil seeing you guys partying with Bad Flower and Johnny Galecki, and lots of cool stories. So check that out. So last we talked, you guys were going to make new music, and it looks like an EP came out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's talk about that because some of those were old songs like Mauled by Jackalopes. You just re-recorded them.
Mm-hmm. That one and One Big Party.
Yeah, and then the other ones they're totally new though, right?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and
some of them were written like Whiter Than Snow. It wasn't on the EP, but it was written like a couple years before we actually got to record it and everything. So to us, it had already sounded dated, and so we were like, we'll put it out anyway. So
yeah, no, it sounds good. Did you guys work with a professional producer on this, or did you self-produce it?
We worked with Kevin Langley. He's in Athens, Alabama. Super cool dude. He does a lot of like pop, hip hop stuff now. He started doing like metal bands and like core stuff and everything. So we wanted to, we thought it was really cool with his history with doing metal to his more pop stuff now. So we thought he had a good ear, and I think it turned out pretty cool.
No, very cool. So how does that work? Do you have to pay him like a flat rate, or does he just take a percentage?
No, just pay for the days.
Oh, okay.
So cool. Usually we get a couple days at a time and go up there and stay for a weekend and just knock out a song or two, whatever we had time to get done.
Okay. So is there more that's in the can, or is this everything that's been recorded has been released?
Everything that's been recorded is out. I mean, we're always goofing around, and we can come up with ideas in like 2 seconds. So, I mean, we've got a bunch of unfinished ideas, but
That's cool. I like the Benjamin Franklin song too. That one's really cool. I think I thought I'd shared that one, but I couldn't find if I did or not. But remind me again, there's like some movie dialogue in that. Which movie is that from again?
Tombstone. That was Skylar's idea.
Okay. Do you how do you get the rights for that? Is there some sort of legal thing with that?
It wasn't 15 seconds. So we looked it up, and we weren't sure how that worked or if we would have to like, but if it's 15 seconds or under, it doesn't really count. So we just those couple of lines, and it was like 14 point something. So it was like right under 15 seconds. So we were like, yes,
that's awesome. And yeah, because you're like advertising for the movie. You're helping them out. Yeah.
It was a cool movie. But yeah, that one's probably my favorite. My favorite one of our new songs, because it's got a lot in there. The verses are really, with the drums and everything, they feel really kickstart my heart. And then there's that like little breakdown in there that feels kind of rage. And it's a mix of things that we all have a lot of influences. So putting in a mix of things that shouldn't go together, but just make something cool out of it. So
no, that's why what drew me to you guys I think in the first place. Yeah, was just because the Mauled by Jackalopes, like I think I'd said that in the first interview, like how it almost had a little bit of a punk feel to it. But it had that it kind of like, you guys kind of remind me of Skid Row in that regard, because it's kind of like you have some punk and metal influences, and that's a good combo to me. I love that.
Cool. Thank you. We love Skid Row, and one of our favorite albums is probably Slave to the Grind. We really like how they took what was going on at the time and made it heavier and just went all out with it and had that like that attitude, that aggression with it, and that one's a really big one for us. So
Yeah, me too. That's one of my favorites. The song "Becoming One," like Rain. You said that's one of your favorite songs that you recorded too, and that talk about what that's about because it's about how you're kind of more introverted and like you're in the front of the band, so you kind of carry the band in a way. Like if the band is successful, like if that's on your shoulders, but then if you guys fail, then it's like you're to blame. Kind of like the quarterback of a football team or something.
right, and um, that that's kind of how it feels sometimes, and where we all we all want the same things, and we're all best friends and everything, and so um, it's I wasn't in the best time whenever I was writing it. Had a lot of stuff going on, and I just didn't really feel that great. And I was like, everything got really heavy for a little while, and was I was feeling the pressure a lot, and that was my outlet for it. So
Well, that's good that you have that. Now, you say when you say the pressure, like from the band or yourself or both, or like some other people, outside influences, or what?
probably all of the above. I mean, me and the guys are super cool and we always have been and everything, but the pressure to be the best I can be for us and, feeling like leading us in the best direction and, being responsible for a lot of things at once. It wasn't like, nobody thinks whenever you want to get into music, you're like, little 8-year-old me is like, oh yeah, I want to play guitar, listening to Van Halen. Like, I want to make cool sounds. And now, like, there's like, I was calling and booking shows and working everything out. So we had transportation from point A to point B and responsible for all the money and like all the stuff that comes with it that you don't really think about in the beginning. There's growing pains.
Right, because you guys were managing yourselves. Are you still managing yourselves?
No, we have a manager now. We have a
Oh,
manager and a lawyer. So
that's
we,
awesome. Very cool. It's so cool to see you guys grow, man. Cause like, I think it was like what, 2 years ago or something, I had you on and then all this stuff has happened. That's like, it's so cool to have you back and see all the stuff that you have done.
yeah,
How,
people
I mean, are
like
you,
that.
has this
Thanks
been
for
your
having
full-time focus is music? Like, have you been putting all your effort into this?
me. Pretty much. Um, and it's gotten to the point now where like cool stuff is just happening all the time, and everybody's fired up, everybody's excited, and it's working.
It's so cool, dude. I love too. I wanted to say, talk about your cover of Motley Crue Live Wire. Oh my God, that is so good. And I love
Thank
that
you.
song. And
Thanks,
I
man.
think I messaged you again. I was trying to figure out if I did or not, but if I hadn't, I'd wanted to tell you I love that. Do you think Motley Crue might give you a call? I mean, you could sing the song better than Vince at this point.
I mean, I don't know, but that'd be cool. But
Yeah.
I mean, that was one that we wanted to do. Like the old recordings, especially because that was so early for them and everything.
Hmm.
We're listening to it and we're like, man, this song rips. But then listening to the quality of the recording and the guitars a little out of tune and
Sure.
like all these little things were like, if this was done again with like modern production and everything, and we really got like what we feel from it across this song, we could make a cool cover of it. So that's what we
No,
did.
yeah, you nailed it. It's badass.
Thank
And
you.
then you guys have a single. Talk about this with George Lynch and Terry. How do I say his Illis? Illis?
Carry loose.
Illous. Yes, he's
Yeah.
formerly of Great White. Dead or Alive is the single. How did that come about? You did some shows with them, or
Yeah, we did a couple of shows with Terry, and Jacob and Ian played with him and Paul as XYZ for M3, and we all just got along really well. And George Lynch is like Jacob's dude.
Hmm.
Um, and so it just we were like, hey, you want to do a song? Sure. Let's see if we can get George on it. Let's make it cool. And so, yeah.
Wait, so you just called him up, or like you guys have a connection with him? You met him before?
Uh, we didn't meet him before. I think Terry did for that.
Oh.
So yeah. So we recorded the music and everything for Terry. He wanted George on the song, and I'm singing some backups and everything, and everybody else is playing on it. So it was all pretty collaborative to make the whole thing. So it was cool.
Yeah. And then you have a show. Do you have a show with them scheduled? Right? Is it, I thought I saw that, or did that already happen?
Yes, we got two.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
so we've already done it in Pennsylvania, and it went really, really well. We got December 9th in Birmingham, Alabama at Workplay, with the same lineup. And then the next night, December 10th, we're going to be at Club LA in Destin, Florida. So yeah, we got
That's
a lot of
cool.
people excited, a lot of tickets selling. The video's got like, I don't even know how many views it has now. It's like well over 100,000. So
Wow. That's
yeah.
awesome. And then you guys did so it's going back to Skid Row, you played with Skid Row and got to see them at was that the M3 festival?
I didn't play with them, but yes, they were playing at M3 and I was standing side stage.
How do you
Uh,
get so it was just because you had a connection or something then?
yeah, because Jacob and Ian from AON were playing with Terry as XYZ.
Oh, okay.
So we
Gotcha.
were all running around backstage, hanging out with everybody and stuff. It was cool.
And then you guys also you were the backup band for a little bit with Mitch Malloy, who was also has the great like this is like three tie-ins to Great White. Is this just a coincidence, or I don't understand what?
Um, our manager is friends with the band, so
Ah,
um, he was already friends with Terry and stuff, and we met him through that project, and then when um when AON played at Turning Stone Casino in New York, Great White was playing that same night in the big room, and then Scott and Audie came down to check out the end of our show, and so that's kind of how that ended up happening when they needed somebody to fill in for Andrew because of that last in line gig. They threw me out there because they had already seen me sing before, and so yeah, they sent over a couple of tracks and I sang on them, and they
is
called me
that
out to
what
Vegas.
the yeah? Because I saw you had posted a few Instagram Great White songs. You're like, oh, I'm just doing Great White covers. That was before you made it public. So you okay? So that was just like sneaky, like, hey, I'm just and then they would said it was okay for you to post those or whatever.
I mean, I didn't ask, but I didn't know I was gonna be doing the show in Vegas either. So,
So was
uh,
that kind of your tryout? You think?
yeah,
Yeah, more or
pretty
less.
much.
Yeah.
But it was crazy because like I found out, got the call, and then Erik, Erik lives in Fort Myers, Florida. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. So he got the phone call and they said that they wanted me to record. They sent him some tracks for me to record on. And he was like, "Hey man, can you get on a plane at like 5:30? There's one out of Birmingham coming to Sarasota." And that's like an hour before I have to leave. So I'm like, okay. So I hopped on the plane. I didn't get to
And
the
this was the
record.
plane to go sing with Great White and do a show,
It was to record the
or
vocals
just
to
to record.
sing.
Okay.
And so I got on the plane. There was a layover. I ended up getting down there at like, I ended up going to sleep around 4 in the morning and then had to be up at 9 at the studio to record those. So singing first thing in the morning sucks because you wake up and you're all like, oh,
Hmm.
like voice is cracky and it takes a little while to warm up. Um, But yeah, so I was singing those at like 9 o'clock in the morning on like very little sleep. It was like one of those worst case scenario setups. And I'm like, well, hopefully they like it because I had everything stacked against me, but they did, so it was
And
cool.
were you the only person that they had flown out to try out? Was there anyone else you were going up against?
I didn't I didn't know at the time. I think Mark said in an interview they tried out like 3 other people or
Hmm.
something like that. But they liked my sound, so yeah.
And so then they just said, did they offer you the full gig at that point, or they just said, "Hey, can you fill in and do some shows, and we'll see how it goes"?
Yeah, they asked if I could do the Vegas show because Andrew had his last in line obligation. And so I was like, yeah, sure. So I went out a day early there. We rehearsed before the show. All the guys were super cool. We got along really well and hit it off and did the show. The response was really good. Um, Write-ups all over the place, like all over the world. I was having to like Google translate these articles to see what they're saying about me. um, so yeah, it was really cool. And then I told them that whenever they want me, whenever they need me, if his schedule is, if they're having to work around it, then, you know, I'll be there for you. So, they asked me about the New York show kind of last minute. I was like, yeah, I can do that. So that was the second one I did with them. And, so
Is this
here we
like the
are.
dream? I mean, is it? I mean, maybe Great White is not your top, number one band that you would ever join, but this is like a big band. I mean, this had to be kind of surreal to go from All or Nothing playing the clubs to, it's a big step up.
Yeah, it's really, really cool because like I've grown up listening to them, and AON's played a bunch of their songs before, like um, "Save Your Love," "Rock Me," "Lady Red Light." Like we play all those songs. So when I got the call, I'm like, I can I could pull out a half a set like right now, I guess, like just off of what I know and what I've done before. Um, so I had a couple weeks to cram a whole bunch of lyrics and we made it happen. So
Was there any song that was more challenging to sing than the others, either just from maybe trying to remember the lyrics or like the vocal range or anything? Or
probably the most challenging one is Rock Me just because of how many parts there are.
it's true. That's
Like
a long song.
it's a long song and like all the little details. Mr. Bone was pretty tricky too
I love that
because
song.
me too. Every chorus, if you pay attention to it, every chorus changes. It uses the same words but in different orders.
Interesting. I didn't notice that. I'll have to pay
Yeah,
attention to
yeah,
that.
yeah.
So do
Listen
you,
to it.
I think, because now you're the new singer, officially the new singer of Great White. Do you think that you can do what like Erik Grunwald did for Skid Row? Because that band is completely revitalized. I feel like they sound amazing. Their latest album is killer. It's one of their
He's
best. Do
killing
you
it.
think that you can do the same thing for Great White? Because I think you can.
Well, thanks, man. Well, hopefully, I'm here for it if they want me to.
Okay. Are you guys, have you talked about making new music?
uh, Mark has. He said on somewhere that he's been writing like a madman. So uh that's really cool. And if they want me to be the guy to record on it, then I'm here for it. Let's go.
Awesome. I love it. So has it been a good reaction? You said the reviews have been good. The fans have been reacting good, your friends and family. And what about your band? What is All or Nothing? Are they supportive or
They're they're totally cool. They're excited for me. They're supportive of everything going on. You know, we hung out a few days ago and it was all smiles and laughs from the time we got together till we finally said goodnight. And so everybody's it's a team effort. Everybody's happy about everything going on. And you know, Jacob and Ian have played with XYZ. Skylar's played with a couple of other bands, done studio work for people and everything. So, you know, AON's just home.
and Great White is okay with you staying in All or Nothing? Because isn't that was the problem with Andrews? They said that he was just too busy with his last in line thing and he couldn't do that and Great White. So how does that work with you in All or Nothing? Does Great White take precedence or?
I mean, yeah, right now they they book they book far enough in advance that, you know, it'll probably be fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. And then, I mean, I was looking at the website. There's not a ton of dates right now, but there's a Vegas one. There's a Minnesota with Slaughter and Vixen. That sounds fun. And then this is the one I want to go to, the Monsters of Rock cruise. I've never been on a
Dude,
cruise. Have you ever been on a cruise?
no, I haven't. And I've always said that whenever I go on my first cruise, I want to be paid because I want to be on the band playing on the cruise. And here we are. Like,
Yes, I love it, dude. This is so cool. Like all these dreams are
cool.
coming true for you. It's amazing.
Yeah, like I'm just like, what's going on half the time? Like
This is
my
going to be so cool.
my
It's
calendar
Tesla.
back here is empty because it's from September because I haven't been home long enough to like fill anything out. It's been wild.
That's amazing. I love to hear that. Yeah, the cruise thing is. I'm going to try to make that if I can because it's Tesla, Extreme, Tyler Bryant, who had on the show, is really talented. Ted Poley, I love. Kicks, John Corabi. I mean, it's just going to be a killer lineup. That sounds like so
Dude,
much fun, and you
if
get
you could
paid.
come, that'd be awesome. That
Yeah,
would be so cool if you could come. And yeah, you've been interviewing a lot of people. I've been seeing some of the people that you post about and everything, and I'm like, yes,
yeah. Isn't that? It's just fun to like
super happy,
grow
dude.
something. You know, like when you set these goals and then you just go after it, and that's what you guys talked about in that first interview. And I was like, I believed it because I mean I talked to a lot of bands and they don't all say those things. You know, they say yeah I like music, da da da. But you guys were like, what did you say? Like I remember there was something I listened when I listened back. It was like you want to play on the moon or something. I was like, I
Yeah.
love it. You want to be the
Yeah.
first band to play on the moon. I was like, this is awesome.
On our Facebook our Facebook bio for the longest time, it still might be, I'm really not sure. It said high energy rock and roll band from Birmingham, Alabama with plans to play on the moon. Suck that at Metallica or something like that. So um yeah, we want to do the thing and it's cool and it's cool seeing you grow too. And I'm sure you know it's not like things don't always happen the way you think they will or the way that you plan them to in your
Yeah.
head. It just kind of unfolds and then like before you know it, you're like, okay, these are the conversations that I'm having right now. This is where we're at. Like it's cool.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's really cool. I mean, I feel like for you, like you've made it now. I mean, you're the singer of Great White. It's only going to go up from here. And I mean, that it's so cool because it helps you, but also it helps All or Nothing. And then like you said, they're doing XYZ and stuff and they're doing things. So the whole, everybody's just going to come back and make the band stronger and bigger. You're going to get more followers. Did you get a lot of followers? Like when it said, you know, you are the singer of Great White, did you go on your Instagram the next day and you had like a bunch of new followers?
Yeah, Instagram went a pretty good bit, but Facebook was the one that really went crazy.
Mm. Did you
So
get friend requests or how does that, or you have like a Facebook, like a fan page on there?
yeah, so I'm under the content creator umbrella on Facebook. You know, they're
Hmm.
doing a bunch of updates and everything.
Hmm.
So I've gotten the follow. People can still send me friend requests, but you can also just like follow my page, which
Oh,
is
okay.
super helpful because like I I've hit my limit on there so many times, and then I have to go and feel bad when I have to like clear people out of there. So I try to go to like inactive accounts and people
Um,
that don't have profile pictures and stuff. But then I still have like 1,300 people waiting to accept friend requests.
yeah, I mean
So,
that's just where you get, but like you said, they can still follow you. So it's just there's
right,
not, but it's not like you can follow all those people. You can't follow 5,000 people. That'd be
right,
impossible anyway. So
yeah.
yeah, cool. Tell me about this one too that you filled in for a band. What is it called? Skanker Banger. This stuff's kind of fun. Was this like kind of like a Steel Panther thing?
So yeah, they're a funny like 80s tribute. Andy Wood and Ben Eller and those guys, super cool. They asked me to come up to Knoxville because their singer got arrested for robbing a donut truck. And so
What?
I was like, okay, I can do that. So went up and we had a good time.
Yeah, is that a like? Did he just want the donuts, or do donut trucks have like cash? That's
I don't know the dude.
okay.
Never
Interesting.
met him.
All right, that's a fun one. Yeah. The other thing that I saw on your Instagram that was really cool too is you did. We talked about how your All or Nothing is so eclectic, and you did like this growling metal version of Bohemian Rhapsody. Like, I didn't even know you could do that. Is that hard to sing that style?
Um, I actually started doing that before I started singing. Um,
Oh, really?
yeah, I didn't work on it too much because um I wanted to focus on singing and everything, but now that I've kind of gone back to it a little bit, I'm always trying to expand like in every way possible, and I like a lot of heavier stuff. So it's all about technique. If you have the right technique, it's really easy. And that's what I think is cool about Great White is because I like a lot of R&B and stuff too, and I don't really get a chance to show any of that. But in songs like Rock Me and Save Your Love, and where they have like quieter, softer, more delicate parts, um, I can really kind of show like, hey, I could do this too. So it's
That's
fun.
so cool. I mean, that's interesting when you say like, "Oh, I'm really trying to grow and all this." I feel like you have all the right answers. Like, how did you learn all this stuff? Do you read like self-help books or something? Because like I learned this stuff, but like I'm in my 40s. You're 25 and you already know all this stuff. Like, how did you learn it?
Um, I do read a lot of books, but are we talking about like vocal techniques and everything,
Well, no,
or
just like how to set goals and like how to follow. Like, I mean, not to be too cheesy, but like yeah, like following your dreams and like I mean, you're making your dreams happen, and I feel like it's your mental state. Like you're working so hard, your work ethic, all these things. Like, is that just innate, like just natural in you, or is this something that you picked up from? Like, is this how your parents raised you, or?
um mom and dad helped a lot. Dad, when he wants something, he gets really determined, and mom taught me that, a couple of the most powerful words ever are please and thank you. And if you're grateful for things and treat people right, then it comes back around. So um they've they're awesome. But I do read a lot of books too, and I'm just genuinely excited and want to see how far uh how far I can go and that me and the guys can go. And I really believe you can do anything in the world you want to, as long as you're smart about it and go about it the right way and treat people good. So
That's well said. Very cool. What books do you read out of curiosity? Like, I mean, is it kind of like self-help kind of stuff, or is it just random things, or?
um I have a lot. I'm looking at some of them right now.
I mean, is it like Lord of the Rings? Because that would have nothing to do with anything. But I mean,
No, no.
it's
It's so one of my favorite ones is The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. It's one
okay. So it is like self-help kind of stuff. Okay.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is really good.
Yes, that is a good one.
God, there's so much information in that book. You can get lost in it, but it's so good. Um,
Yeah. Do you follow those kinds of like people like I don't know if you can see the but like David Goggins? Have you ever looked at his stuff? Like he's such a motivational guy. Like
yeah, I don't know him too well, but I recognize the book and I've heard of him. Um, but yeah, also I follow Lewis Howes. He's got the School of Greatness on YouTube, the podcast.
yeah.
He's got a lot of really cool people on there. He's got a lot of interviews with like Dr. Joe Dispenza and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. That's why I think we're on the same page because I follow that stuff too, and I just love it. And then yeah, you just get addicted on like growing, like in your case your band, for me the podcast, and then just trying to make things better and just trying to grow as a person too, and do all the right things. And you're saying all the right things, so you've clearly like been influenced by the right people and right things. It's really cool to see.
Thank you. I've also been another one that's really good. Is Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know that one?
Yeah, I read that one too. That was really interesting. I read that whole thing about how the kid comes into the store. I remember that one. That was a good one. Yeah,
Yeah.
some of these I haven't read in a long time. And then like, what is it? is it the 10 habits or 12 habits of highly successful people or whatever? That's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
just cool to get your mind like thinking about those things. I feel like that makes a huge difference in why some people are successful and some aren't. Because some people have the tools, they can sing, they can play guitar, but like they don't make it. And you go like, why not? It's
Mhm.
yeah, they don't have the right mindset. That's my theory.
I feel like if you want to be really successful at something, and like, because we were my family and friends and stuff, like nobody's gone like super high with music, and so that's just like, where do I start? But I feel like learning from successful people, no matter what, it's music, a company, whatever it is that you want to do, if you learn how, how they went about things, that can kind of help you think in ways that you wouldn't naturally think, and then like ideas just start popping off like a game of pinball. It's cool.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so cool. You're in the Great White Camp. I mean, you're going to learn a lot from being in that band.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to last forever, but I think it could last a long time. And I think however long it lasts, you'll learn a ton from watching those guys.
I
So
think so too. And they've been so cool and so welcoming. They're such nice guys. Like, I'm really excited about it.
yeah, very cool. I look forward to hopefully seeing you with Great White and new music from Great White, and then maybe I could see you with All or Nothing, or I mean, obviously I can listen to the music and possibly new music from All or Nothing at some point too.
Maybe at some point. I know with what Great White's been through and everything, that I've told them, like, you have shows booked, you need somebody, I'm there. So um I don't I don't know what all is going on right now. We've got those shows that I was talking about earlier in Birmingham and in Destin coming up December 9th and 10th with George and stuff. So we've got what we've got booked right now, but I'm about to be really busy, so we'll see what happens when.
Okay, well, everyone can follow you on social media. Follow Great White on social media. Follow All or Nothing. Follow your personal accounts, all
Yeah.
that stuff for updates, and check the websites. Right.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, very cool. And then I always end with a charity. I think last time we talked about Save the Music. If you still want to
Mhm.
promote that, that's a good one. It seems like they put music in schools. Isn't that what it does?
Yeah, it is. That is a good one. Um, it's not really a charity, but Audie, the drummer from Great White, he's selling his a line of coffee now,
Oh,
and a lot of the proceeds they're donated to animal shelters. So
okay. That's good
that's
to know too. Yeah, very cool. It seems like everyone's got their coffee these days. That's neat.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Audie Despero Land on Facebook, and you can find it, and it's going to animals. So
Okay, well, very cool. Well, I'll get this episode out. Thanks for doing this. I appreciate it. And congratulations on all your success. I love it. I love seeing it.
thanks, man. Same here. I love seeing you do well with the people that you're interviewing and everything. I'm always super excited, and thanks for having me back. It's cool.
Thank you. All right. We'll be in touch, Brett. See you later.
Yeah, man. See ya. Have a good one.
Bye. My thanks again to Brett Carlisle, singer of All or Nothing and singer of Great White. And who knows what the future holds for him, but it looks very bright. And I'm excited to see where he goes. So make sure to follow him on social media, support him with your likes, comments, and shares. And of course, I'd love for you to do the same with the podcast. And make sure you subscribe to the show wherever you watch or listen. Thank you for your support. Have a great day and shoot for the moon.